and welcome back to the finish line. And this week we are going to concentrate on the Investec Derby, Oaks, Coral Eclips, Coral Dash, and so on. But before that, we will look back on last week's Irish Derby. Santiago, what do we make of it? Poor Derby, good winner. What way do you want to look at it?
Go on, Tom.
A good winner, anyway. Yeah, not too sure how good of a race it was, but definitely a good winner. And as we said last week, good for Coolmore because they've now got a classic winner who's not by Galileo. So that's pretty good for them. Yeah, he's a lovely horse. I'd like to see him sidestep the clash with Stradivarius and go to St. Ledger, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he's St. Ledger horse, out and out. Big, burly galloper. Love a bit of wet ground in the middle of September.
Shite Derby though, let's be honest.
Bar the winner, he wasn't great. The second improved well from his previous run.
I think the second kind of had run the race. I'd say Santiago stopped in front as well. He was kind of dossing a bit in front.
I just
what?
My computer's frozen now. Hang on. I can't remember the name of the horse that finished.
Go on, I guess.
The horse that was following Santiago through, and Santiago got the gap, and the gap closed in front of him. Dawn Patrol? No.
Saturday.
Dawn Intello?
Oh, I had the pink cap.
Dawn Patrol, yeah.
Yeah, Dawn Patrol.
Yeah, that was unlucky enough now. The gap got closed on him.
I think the first three are not too bad.
Yeah, he finished third, then the gap got closed on him as he went to go through the gap. He went to follow Santiago through. He is one not to write off now. Yeah. I
think Fiscal Rule needs another step up in trip. He's just plodding away at the one pace. He's good though.
Yeah, he might just not be good enough either, you know. And
it's been a while since Jim Bulger had a real good horse, isn't it?
Oh, so Dawn Approach is last one?
Yes. Yeah.
That's what happens when you try and make stallions and you breed your mares to crappy horses.
Correct.
It's a fair point.
He had a little bit of luck and then it all went pot, didn't it?
He got a lot of luck with Galileo, and then I can see what he was trying to do, but
right. Yeah. Speaking of Galileo, onto the Galileo affiliate that Dave loves. Old Magical.
Yep.
Go on, Dave, take it away.
She's just the machine. I told you when I heard she was coming back in training that there had to be a reason to bring her back because she had that temperature. That was the reason she missed the Breeders' Cup, and she was actually scheduled to go to No Nay Never. I think she was racing the Breeders' Cup and then going to No Nay Never before she came home. And they never went ahead with it. Aidan said he brought her in, and in the interview he said the way a horse would usually change from 3 to 4 gets stronger, it's happened to her from 4 to 5, and he basically said to the lads, I think we should give her one more season race and she could be better again.
Think she'd beat Enable when they go head to head?
Yes.
Ooh. Really?
Yeah.
Controversial.
She had to have so many chances. I'm not a fan of Enable, but still she had to have so many chances to beat Enable.
I think the only reason she's back in training is because he thinks she'll beat Enable. Legitimately, I think they knew she'd win easy the other day. I think they know she'll win the Champion Stakes again, and they can win whatever race they want. But the reason she's back in training is to beat Enable.
I'd gladly watch it again, but shut up. There'd be something there to beat the boat.
Gaia.
Hey, we get on to that. Say that to later.
Last on Sunday. Saturday,
right. I don't know why I put this in, but I did. Sir Dragonay, is he not just a pig?
Never win a race again, ever.
He's just a pig.
Someone put up in our group, get a prize for the Supreme Novices. They should put him over hurdles because he ain't going to win nothing on the flat anymore. He's useless.
He just comes along next to him and he goes,
He wants to be given to Joseph a set of blinkers on him so he doesn't see anything, only what's in front of him, not beside him or anything, because he don't know how or want to go past horses. And he's had 7 million chances. He's an absolute yak.
Yeah.
Cost me a fortune at Ascot.
That's what you get for changing your mind.
It was either him or Battleground. I couldn't make a decision, and then I put him in the Trixie.
Made the wrong one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I wouldn't back him anyway. Put it that way. I wouldn't back him the next day.
But not even backing him, Tom. You think a horse, you go, he'll win something eventually. I don't think he will, and he's never a good price even to back anyway. Like.
He's always going to be short odds because of what he might do, not what he will do. I'd never go near him again.
It was a bad derby last year. There's lads in our group, wait for Anthony Van Dyke when he gets good ground. He's another absolute waste of space as well.
You say that about hurdles. It might not be I'm just looking at him now. It might not be the worst shout because his stallion value is not there.
His stallion value is gone now, Tom.
He won his maiden, then he won a Group 3. He hasn't even finished in the first 3 in a Group 1. He's failed to win a listed race twice. His stallion value is terrible now.
And he likes soft ground.
And he's gone on soft ground. It's not the worst shout in the world.
He literally likes winter ground. That race that he won impressively at Cheshire, in Chester, was like a winter ground race. I'm telling you, one of the lads said it. It wasn't me that said it. One of the lads said get a price for a Supreme Novice Hurdle. It's not a bad shout.
Make the phone call, Tom.
I thought that was a joke kind of thing when I know it wasn't you who said it. I thought someone else saying it was a piss take, but it's not the worst. It's not the stupidest thing I've heard ever.
Right, enough of him. What you make of Frenetic? Gerline's sprinter won the Lister race on the Sunday.
Didn't see it.
Didn't you? Wow.
That was very impressive. Very impressive.
She went off down the stand rails, away from everything else, straight to her business. Won what? 5 lengths going away.
Yeah, it was
It's
very
only her
impressive.
second start. She looks so professional. She's one to keep an eye on for the rest of the season. Now,
sorry, I tell a lie. I saw the replay. Yeah, I only saw the last furlong of it, but yeah, she was down the stands rail on her own, wasn't she? Yeah, she was very impressive. Yeah.
Right, back to more important things. Let's make money the weekend. Investec Derby time. 2 secs, and I will get the price. We have. This is price and Paddy PR. I forgot to put up no ones. English King 94, Kameko 72, Russian Emperor 6s, Mogul 7s, Vatican City 7s, Highland Chief 12s, Pearl Driver 14s, 16 to 1, bigger the rest. English King, the biggest lay of the week. How in the name of God is he 94? What has he done? What gives him the right to be favourite in a derby? He's won a Lister race around Lingfield.
He's very, very short.
He's extremely short for what he's done. Like you have Kameko, who's a dual Group 1 winner, who people are saying he won't stay, he might stay, but the price difference is ridiculous. You have a Racing Post trophy and a Guineas winner, not favoured for a derby against a listed winner. Someone explain that to me, please, quickly. Tom, explain it.
He's okay. In positive sport of horse, he's gone and won a recognised trial for this, which a lot of them haven't. And he's bolted up when he's done it. He's beaten Berkshire Rocco, who's then gone on and finished second behind Santiago at Royal Ascot. Santiago's then gone on and won the Irish Derby. It's not terrible for him.
The form is not bad. Like it's just even visually he does nothing for me.
Yeah, I can see why he's towards the head of the market, but he wouldn't be for me. I wouldn't be backing him at 94. I'd give him his chance, and this is probably going to come across as really harsh, but you look at the trainers who train some of the other horses, and I know everyone needs their chance, as we said with Tom Marquand, but they've been there and they've done it, you know. I'm happy to take him on, definitely.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm down to Kameko and Vatican City. That's the two I'm at the fall on. I think people are comparing Kameko too much to Roaring Lion because of their breeding. Like he won the Guineas by what, was it a head or something against Wichita, who in my opinion needs to step up and trip anyway, and he's beating beating him just before the finishing line. And to me, he was just getting going and going away at the finish. I have zero doubt if he's on the bridle 2 to a furlong and a half out, nothing will beat him. I have no doubt this fella's going to stay. He has the class. He's a proven Group 1 performer. He's a dual Group 1 winner. He is probably the best jockey in the world right now on his back. Andrew Baldwin's horses are flying. The horse just looks like he's getting better and better at racing. I'm happy to take 7 to 2 any day of the week on him. Yeah, he's priced up as if he won't stay, in my opinion. And there goes the tumbleweeds.
No, look, I was kind of humming and hawing about him in the Guineas, but I'll actually make a good case for Kameko here in a sec. I just want to touch on some of the outsiders. It reminds me of the year that Pourmois won the Derby.
Just before you go on, I watched Pourmois last night. Oh, Mikel Barcelona, biggest balls of steel ever to do that.
And there's not really... There's no point in beating around the bush, I just say it anyway. There's not really many good horses in this race. It's looking a bit better than it did a couple of weeks ago because you've seen horses come out win trials impressively, but it's not a good race. English King is too short. Frankie going on him made him a little bit shorter. At the end of the day, that Lingfield Derby trial is a listed race around Lingfield, so let's not get complacent.
Has there been many winners from that actually go on and win the Derby?
Anthony Van Dyke last year, I think that's one of the only ones. He's good, but I wouldn't say he should be favoured or like 2 to 1 to win the Derby. I like Pile Driver. It wouldn't worry me. He has the odd bad run. He's clearly stays. I like Highland Chief. You want horses in this that you know are going to stay, and they are pretty good prices. Vatican City, don't know if he stays, but looks a decent horse, and I'd say he's probably the best of the O'Brien ones. But Kameko, like you said, Andrew, is priced as if he's not going to stay. The Guineas every year is the best trial for the Derby. People are thinking he's fast because they won the Guineas in a record time, the Brett Frankel's time. That weekend, the track record was broken about 8 times in different races. It was the nature of the weekend, the tailwind, and the ground was really, really fast. He beat fast horses that day by outstaying them. His pedigree is all 1 mile 2. There's not many of Kitten's Joys get 1 mile 4, but he'll definitely get 1 mile 2. He is maybe not in the ratings, but he's by far the best horse in the race. He's a dual Group 1 winner, Group 1 winner at 2, a Group 1 winner at 3. Generally, the race he won at 2, the Group 1, is a Derby trial. Everything to me points to him staying, bar what the pedigree lines say. But like you always say, Andrew, go by what you see, and you're getting 4 to 1 on a horse, and Tom likes he's still an each way price of 4 to 1. You're getting 4 to 1 on a dual Group 1 winner when there's no other Group 1 winners in the field, and he's not even favoured. I think it's so blatantly obvious to back him. People are trying to make faults with him. I can't see how anything else is a better bet than him the weekend.
This is probably the one time where I would go each way at 4 to 1 because he's not going to be out in the top 3. If he doesn't stay, he'll get done for second, right? Or third.
Fair enough. There's an extra 2 furlongs you're unsure about. Will he stay? But if the race was over 1 mile 2, and the trainer wasn't Andrew Balding, he'd be even money. And that's the way I've looked at it. You take the chance with the 2 furlongs. If he was trained by Aidan O'Brien, even with the 2 furlongs, he'd probably still be 6 to 4 favourite.
Like I haven't got into the in depth as you was. To me, he's just the best horse in the race. End of story. He stays, he wins. I haven't made it complicated.
Look, my take on him is I haven't got that much against him. I've two things in the back of my head, which are the only reasons I won't back him. Are one, he's by Kitten's Joy, We saw what happened with Roaring Lion. I think he has more of a chance of staying than Roaring Lion did. I'm not convinced he won't stay. Put it that way. I'm not convinced he will stay. The thing as well with him is, the only thing in my mind is when he hit the front at Newmarket, he went right. I don't know about you guys. Like, have you any worries about that?
Not particularly. I haven't really seen him do anything like that before. I think it just.
My only take was, we all know what Epsom's like. Like, it is literally on a slant like that. And if he's gonna run around, like if he's done that at Newmarket, I don't know. It just there's a couple of things there that put me off enough to look for something else. As I say, I have nothing really against him. I can definitely see why you're picking him. But they're the only two things in the back of my mind about him. The one I will go for is the second one you said, Andrew, Vatican City. Watched his race back there yesterday in the Guineas behind Siskin. Not the Arkle favourite for the lads in our group, the Ger Lions horse. But he was on the inside of Siskin, and he got bumped around every bit as much. Siskin had that turn of foot and got him out of that gap. Even just before that, Vatican City had just been nudged along a little. It took him an extra stride or two to get out of that gap, but when he did, he stayed on really, really, really well. I was looking at his pedigree then. His son pedigree. He's a full brother to Glen Eagles, and then in the pedigree as well as Happily Marvellous and that mare Coolmore. He's an excellent, excellent pedigree. He shapes as if he'll stay, definitely. And at 9-1, I'm quite keen on him, to be honest.
Yeah, I totally back that up. Like, if Kameko doesn't stay, I'd be convinced that Vatican City won't be far behind him. What I seen against Shiskin in the Guineas was a great run in preparation for a crack at the Derby. And the fact that they took him out of the Irish Derby last week just shows how much they think of him. Because he could have easily ran in that. He was 9-4 favourite or something like that. He could have easily won that. The fact that... Go on, yeah?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, this would be interesting to see what Ryan Moore rides as well, and if they think really highly of one of these, which I think they do, because we had the chat last week about Ocean Atlantique, Andre Fab's horse, and that's staying in France now. So that has been so good over in France. I thought that they'd bring it over for the Derby because it looks wide open. But the fact that he's staying in France makes me think that Aidan thinks he can win it with one of his,
Touch on Mogul, because let's be honest, he's been a hype horse for this since last season. Is he failed to live up to expectation, or is it just he badly needed a run at Ascot?
I think he badly needed the run the last time, but he was also beaten by Kameko in the Ennistytom or the old Racing Post Trophy. I just take him on. Everything just tells me to take him on. Like, he could go and improve from that run and go and win, but I'd much rather back something like Vatican City at a bigger price.
Yeah,
I'd rather back Kameko than Mogul, put it that way.
Yeah, he hasn't done enough for me to even consider backing him. To me, he's living on hype so far. Even though he is the brother to Japan, who was placed in this last year, but visually and everything else to go with it, he hasn't convinced me at all.
Yeah.
You kind of like him, do you?
I think he's a better horse than what he's shown, but I wouldn't think he's better than Kameko, to be honest.
Right. Anyone else you want to touch on bigger prices? Highland Chief, you backed him at Ascot.
Backed him at Ascot, but I
Too much of a step?
it's a big difference between a handicap and a Group 1. I'd prefer Pile Driver than Highland Chief. I think Pile Driver will place.
Did we tell the lads the story about Highland Chief at Ascot?
The story that what you didn't back him?
Oh, I never even told.
So we put a bit of money together to back some horses, and on day 3, David sent his text in the middle of a conversation, and I completely missed it. And I went on to check what Andrew had put up to back, and we were having a tenner on each horse. And I went on and I said, did I put Dave's bet on? I said, I can't remember. So I scrolled up anyway, there it was. Highland Chief, 20 to 1. Tom hadn't put the bet on. Cost me €130 to pay you out.
Tenner win as well. I didn't even say 5 each way. Tenner win.
Straight to the jugular. I was sickening.
You're in a mood that week then because you pulled out with the bets then and we had another 3 winners after you pulled out.
I said, I'm done with this. I said, no, pay me out. And
you said you're done with this, and that's after I text in then. Before you said you're done with it, I text in, I'll have a tenner win on Dandala at 12 to 1 and that one as well.
That win?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Thank God I said I'm out of that. Oh. Yeah, you're on fire Royal Ascot week anyway. Jesus.
That was faces on fire.
Yeah. Yeah, my face.
If anyone didn't notice, Dave.
My nose is broke. It's been a bad week. Hence I wasn't here last week.
Yeah.
The lads didn't even say I wasn't here. They just started talking without me. They didn't even say Dave's not here.
Well, don't
be back.
Don't ever bitch about Lorena again.
It's been a bad week, and I literally, what was I saying about the betting site that I'm having issues with there, Tom?
888. I call him out.
888 bet. Can't log in. Literally picked the horse there, 15 to 8 favourite. Tried to put the bet on. Showed Andrew it won't work. It's telling me I'm not logged in. And a fucking one.
Language.
They are
So
useless
annoying.
though. I had an account with them and it's limited to like €1 on a 2 to 1 shot. It's ridiculous.
It's literally so annoying. That's a winner gone.
Right. Decision. Who are you going for? We're still on the Derby, by the way.
I'll go Vatican City.
I go Kameko and I'm going to back Vatican City as well. I'm going to back the two of them.
I've Kameko back.
I've Kameko in a double for the Guineas. I'm backing Vatican City, so.
The lads in the group know I wouldn't be the biggest better in the world, like 50s and 100s. I think I said a few times the biggest bet I've ever had was €30 on big bucks. I've 25 on Kameko, so that's how strong I am.
Right. On to the ladies. On to the Oaks. And we have phone work. We have Love at even money. Franklin Darling 15-8. Ennistytom at 6s. Gold Wand 10s. And 20 to 1 big RS. Surely loves to lose.
Yeah, look, I'd give her a very good chance. She was very impressive in the Guineas, and she's another one where she's not really. I've more against Kameko than I do Love. I've nothing against Love at all. I'm not going to say nothing. What's that?
You just love Ennistytom.
I'm going to take. Ennistytom was 10 to 1 earlier in the week, and I took a bit of that each way. Look, who knows if she'll beat Love? No idea. I think she'll get very close to Frankly Darling. Frankly Darling was very keen in the early part of that race, and I think he's going to have to settle a bit better here. Ennistytom was held up, had to pull out around horses. By the time she got out around the bend, the winner had gone. She ran on then, and she went left and she went right a little bit. Big open wide track. I think there's definitely more improvement in her. She again has got a lovely pedigree. She's definitely going to stay a mile and a half. To take on, for when you get down into the rest of them, it's lacking a bit of strength and depth this race. And her, even at 7 to 1 now against the top two, I'm well happy to keep her on side each way.
On all known form and everything we've seen, you'd imagine that's the top three right there, the first three in the bet.
Sure. Yeah.
Peaceful is gone now. She's not running. So I think, like I said, at the Guineas, it's nearly a tip in itself. I reckon they know Love is all but going to win this unless she doesn't stay. And there is a little bit of query of that in her pedigree. Her mammy was a maiden over like 6 furlongs, but you're banking on Galileo, and she probably will stay because she's a very relaxed filly. I think if Frankly Darling does what she did at Ascot, she'll be last because you can't do that around Epsom. She pulls herself to the front like that and goes like Frankel like a lunatic. She won't stay. And I think Ennistytom will be second, or if Love doesn't stay, first. And the bet is a reverse forecast.
Yeah. At the price, I won't be. I'm not saying that I won't. If I was to have a bet I'd take a chance of Ennistytom at 7-1. I'd gladly watch Love win at even money. But Ennistytom 7-1 each way, when the rest of them are practically dirt behind him, I'd gladly take that.
Love is 100% the best filly in the race.
Yeah.
But she does have a query as whether she stays. She more than likely will stay, but if she doesn't, Ennistytom definitely stays, and there's your second place. Your each way money.
Yeah.
That's what I think. You're like, as I said, I have nothing against Love whatsoever. She was very good in the Guineas, but Ennistytom, she stays at 1.5 miles. There's definitely more to come from her, and at 7-1, I'm happy to take a chance. Yeah.
Like as I said, I'd be happy to sit back and watch Love win, and Ennistytom and follow her home. Yeah, Ennistytom each way.
Can we just put a shout out? I don't know who's commentating on the English Oaks on Saturday, but if they could either watch some of her replays or listen to us, her name is Ennistytom, not Ennistytom or whatever the hell she was called at Ascot. It's poor. Joking aside, it's poor. If you're a commentator, go find out what the horse is called.
Do you know what? That's poor enough. But their champion jockey, his name is Oisin Murphy, not Weishin or Usuni or whatever Derek Thompson likes to call him on bloody Sky Sports Racing. Get it right, like seriously.
All right, there, big fella.
Right, selections. Ennistytom 7-1 each way.
Reverse forecast. Love Ennistytom.
Yeah, I'd say Ennistytom each way. Yeah, 7-1.
Right, this is going to be fun. Coral Eclips. When I get there. So we have Enable 11-10, Guyat 5-2, Japan 5s, Lord North 5s, Magical 1 12s, and 25-1. Bigger than the rest. Go on.
I presume you're both taking on Enable and you back that Godolphin rag. But Japan for me. I
knew you were going to say Japan.
I'll go for Japan.
Japan is your Lorena.
Same as last year. He's a big fat pig and needs a couple of races to get fit. So we'll give him a go this time. We actually talked about it in depth for Ascot, and we said he was the best horse in the race, but there was big queries as to whether he'd be fit or not. I think you were a bit more certain he'd win, but me and Tom were a little bit worried.
Yeah, I certainly win, but then I seen him waddle out to the parade ring. Oh, jeez.
I was going to say, when he waddled out to the parade ring and his arse was the size of something like I'd never seen, I was like, oh God, his arse is the size of your telly there.
That's
big. So I give him a go. I think he'll be fitter this time, and he's surely Aiden's best older horse. Well, him and Magical. So
I just want Goya to win so I can laugh at you.
Yeah, if he wins, he wins. I'll say
genuinely, I just really like him because he wears his heart to the sleeve. He just goes and catch me if you can. If you beat me, you beat me.
If he does that, right, and he bet Anthony Van Useless, right, 2.5 lengths after breaking the track record, I tell you now, like whatever they're taking on Enable, she is an absolute machine. And if he goes like that on Sunday, is it Sunday? Yeah.
Sunday.
Enable will beat him about 15 lengths.
But is it the fact that he will go so fast? We know he's going so fast.
He only knows one way to do things. So.
But is it the fact that it's Enable's first run? If she tries to keep up with him, she's going to blow her gasket. I'd be totally different if this is Enable's second run or something like that. But Gael is race fit. He's going to go for the front. He's going to test our fitness, and he's going to be hard to catch around Sandown.
If Gaia is going to beat Enable, I think 1 mile 2, quick ground. He's had a run. It's her first start of the season. If he's ever going to beat her, Sunday is the day he's going to beat her. I really like him. I think the way he was the last day at Newmarket was just unbelievable. I'm not going to have a bet in this race. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to enjoy it. And I hope Enable runs, Gaia runs, Lord North runs, and Japan runs. If you get the 4 of them, it's going to be some race. Because Japan is obviously going to come on for his 4th in the Prince of Wales Stakes. Lord North looks like he's improving. Enable, I looked through her form. There's nothing to really say she won't run her race on her first start back. Yeah, it's going to be a fascinating race.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to myself now. Depending on how Saturday goes, I'll have a little dabble on Gate. It's because I love him. He's the flat version of Demon.
You said that in the group, and don't ever say it again. Ever.
Why?
Because he's not.
He's big.
He's
just
not.
gallops people into submission.
Until he puts 2 runs together that are the same, don't ever call him Demon. Ever.
They're winning 2 in a row.
The best thing since sliced bread in the arc as well. He came 17th.
I know this isn't for everyone now.
I'm getting some bites here.
You know what I'm going to say.
What?
But, and I'm not sure what way the each way terms go, but at the minute there's 8 runners in that race, right? 3 places. Gay is 5-2. I'd be happy enough each way and him at 5-2. He's going to fill one of those first 3 places.
Nice.
I know
Be
it's
nice.
not for you.
Let's move
I know
on.
it's not for you.
There's decorations in.
That's them, yeah.
There's 8 runners. Yeah, there's 8 runners.
One of them could be taken out though. The Ballydoyle horses, Magic Wand might not run.
I would check what way the anti-post market works on that, if it is still anti-post.
Yeah, I get just because I think he could be something special. You're what, Japan?
Yeah. I'll take Gaia. If he's ever going to beat Enable, it's on Sunday.
Okay. 2 for Gaia, 1 for Japan. Right, we stay at Sandown. We go 150, the Coral chart over 5 furlongs. I am really, really looking forward to see our power on this.
He's the type of horse that you just keep backing now till he loses, because he's doing everything right and he just keeps cashing the money. So
his performance at Ascot was
you just don't
phenomenal. Even though it was a handicap, he's only stepping up at the grade 3.
You don't win 5 furlong handicaps by 5 and 6 lengths every time you run unless you're really, really, really good.
And he's only stepping into Group 3 company, and on the back of the handicap form, he looks at least at worst a Group 2 horse.
He's 100% a Group 1 horse. He'll actually put it up to Batash in the non-top.
I looked at it a lot last night, and it boiled down to me to Art Power winning and Liberty Beach following home.
And he's grey.
Shock, you like him.
What do you think of the Leisure Light? Do you like him as well?
No, because I couldn't pronounce the name.
Yeah, I like him as well. I would side with Art Power. Interesting bit of form is that on their last runs, they both beat a horse called Keep Busy, and they both beat him by 3.5 lengths. Leisure Light gave him £2. Art Power gave him £4. They've both hammered him, but one's given him a bit more weight. On Art Power's run, you have to take Kieran Fallon's £3 claim into account, but there's no difference between Kieran Fallon and a professional jockey, so I'm happy to write that claim off.
It'll be interesting to see how they ride it, because the two of them just seem to go from the front.
Yeah, it would be very interesting. It's going to be a good race between the front two. I would probably just side with Art Power.
If they cut each other's throats, I can see Liberty Beach picking up the pieces if they fall apart. She's getting weight off him. She's in good form. Yeah, but I'd love to see Art Power win just because of what he does. But what I can see though, they're hardly going to break up into 2 groups around Sandown, will they? What is there? There's 20 runners.
The draw used to be a big. There used to be a big bias in the draw and the sprint races in Sandown over on the rail, but it's not as bad as it used to be. So
yeah, I'd gladly go Art Power to win. To win. The other man.
Oh, Art Power, I love watching. He's a great horse.
Yeah, 3 votes for Art Power.
On to the next. Haydock, 2:40 on Sunday. The Lancashire Oaks. Embahar 11-8, Fanny Logan 5-2, Manuel De Vega 3s, Antonio De Vega 8s, and 10-1. Bigger the rest. This is a very, very interesting race, I think. Could be wrong. I think it's interesting. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I do. Fanny Logan, if you asked me if I ever thought she would stay 1 mile 4, the answer is no. Apparently, I've written on my notes. Apparently, she does. She won there.
Who knew?
She won very well at Ascot. I would never have had her over mile 4. Enbahar. I didn't watch that one's video to see how it was pronounced. Very good last year over staying trips. Beaten on soft ground though in France. Will Gosden run Fanny Logan on this one? Don't know. Jim Crowley's strapped up on Enbahar, so I don't know. Maybe Fanny Logan doesn't run. Maybe he will run both of them against each other. I don't know. I would just take a chance on Manuel De Vega.
Yes, Tom. Good lad.
Thinks she stays very well. We know she stays a mile 4, definitely. And she likes the ground as well if it's going to be on the softer side. I'm happy enough to take a chance on her.
And she likes Haylock. She won last time out with her course and distance. Beat Fanny Logan.
Yeah.
And
outstayed Fanny Logan that day. The way she was ridden, they made plenty of use of her, and that was to make sure she outstayed Fanny Logan, and she did. So that's why that added to my never thinking Fanny Logan would ever stay a mile and a half.
Yeah. I agree. I never thought she'd win a mile race after seeing that. I think Manuel De Vega is by far the best price and best selection in the race. She beat Fanny Logan. She's race fitness. She acts around Haylock. She's a front runner around Haylock, Dave. What do you like?
Look, Haylock's a front runner's track. She's the best form in the race. Going back to Fanny Logan, I'd say it's close enough between Enbahar. It's hard to choose between Manuel De Vega and Enbahar. If you watched Enbahar last year, I'd say the only reason she's still in training as a 5-year-old is because she's one of the biggest fillies you'll ever likely to see. She is massive. She's about the same size as top of the game.
You stop now with that horse. It's not jump season yet. You're still on about
best horse ever. Soon to be.
He looks well in the picture.
He does.
That's about it.
He's very, very photogenic. I imagine Jim Crowley's jocked up, so I wouldn't say Fanny Logan will run. If Enbahar makes the required growth and strengthens up, I'd say she'd be very hard to beat, even though Manuela De Vega has good form. There has to be a reason they're keeping her in training as a 5-year-old.
The reason I take her on is the reason you just said there. She's so big, and surely she's going to need a run, being the size she is. And Manuel De Vega has race fitness behind her, acts at the track. Hopefully there'll be a bit of rain around. She's by Luke De Vega. They love a bit of cutting around.
John Gosden is just a master at older horses, though. He keeps them in training for a reason. He gets races, Group 1s out of horses you just wouldn't expect. Like Fanny Logan winning the Hardwick. It's totally unexpected.
Yeah, but I'm siding with Manuel De Vega fairly strongly. And tumbleweed again.
No, I actually I never sit in the fence, but I couldn't choose between Enbahar and Manuel De Vega. I couldn't.
Well, choose
Enbahar.
There you go. That was easy.
I go Manuel De Vega as well.
2-1. Right. I put the Cork Munster Oaks in the hope that some clarity beyond runners, but there's not really. But we'll have a quick look at it. I'm really interested in a search for a song for Dermot Wells.
You won't leave that go, will you?
Oh Jesus! She won the Irish St. Leger, beating Kew Gardens like easily. She came back at the Cora over a mile 2, just wasn't her trip. Everything went wrong that could go wrong. Gladly write it off. Dermot Well horses were in absolutely rotten form. He's at to having a few winners. I say a few, he's probably going to have 2, but
Andrew, she looked worse than Make Good that day at the Cora.
Let's not get carried away, Tom. Let's not get carried away.
I actually fully, yeah, that's the truth.
I see you later, lads. Go.
That is the truth.
She was horrific.
Yeah, and what's my number one rule? Always forgive a horse a bad run. If she bombs out,
that's your number 1 rule.
Yeah, forgive him a bad run.
I forgive one and I get abused for it.
He's had to having about 20 bad runs. At least my thing would have bloody State Leisure. Even though that's a fake Group 1. Can we just touch on that? That's a fake Group 1.
What?
St. Leger.
The Irish one?
Yeah. That shouldn't be
You're the
good.
one that wants this horse.
Yeah, but I'm on about the horse. I'm on about the race. I'll get to that when that comes on. Are St. Legers for 3-year-olds?
Yes.
In England?
The English one is.
Yeah. Why is the Irish one not?
I don't know. You'll have to take that up with the Irish Horse Racing Authority.
I hate you. I'm going to get it. Tom, this is a plan for us now. We get on to them. We got a thing with Joseph O'Brien. Train till sensation, then bang it in there.
He's totally
Bang.
just changed the subject from the fact that he picked an absolute dog.
So that's the way I did it though. Right, go on, enlighten me, O'Keefe.
Look, it's too hard to know who's going to run, but if Aidan O'Brien's filly Snow runs, I'd back her.
Could I tip Manuel De Vega in this as well?
I would not touch that search for a song after the last day. Snow is a filly that's a full sister to Kew Gardens. She clearly wants to step up and trip. If they do run, she'll be getting weight from Search for a Song. I'd go for her.
I also like Gerline's Heliac.
Yeah, I'd prefer her than that Search for a Song as well. She's searching for a leg after the last day.
You'll be careful now.
I've got one for this. Just
good.
to touch on Manuel De Vega.
He didn't hear you.
I didn't hear him. What did he say?
Make good.
No, Dave.
Oh, no, stop. Laughing hurts my nose. Stop.
This horse is going to follow you to your grave.
That runs on Make Good. He runs tomorrow. If you want to laugh, watch him.
Does he really?
Yeah.
He's gonna be useless now. He's gonna be absolutely useless.
Do you know what though, Tom? The one you tipped up, the sprinter you tipped up, he won the third time. You tipped him up. He ran another day and he was useless, and then he won. He won the week at Ascot. The Saturday Royal Ascot.
G-Rex.
No,
G-Rex has done twice well, another one.
No, because he was about 12-1 the day he won. He like a green and black colours.
Oh, Muckala.
That's the one. Yeah.
Muckala.
He on the business for you, Tom.
Did he not win the day after?
No, he won the Saturday of Royal Ascot.
Oh yeah, we backed him.
G-Rex won as well, so he won a 4-1. Muckala won a 12-1. They weren't too bad, but
they both won a couple of times after you tipped them up, but they did win.
Yeah. I can see though. I can see what's his name, Make Good, being absolutely stonewall useless. Because I've given it back to so many people about him. I can just see him turn around to be absolutely terrible. But
where's he running? Sligo or Bellewstown?
If he don't runs well tomorrow, Tom, you may turn off your WhatsApp.
Oh, it's off. It's on mute. He won't run well tomorrow. John McConnell, unfortunately, is not in very good form at the minute. Look, there is a race in this lad somewhere, 100%. He's down to a very nice mark now. But once the trainer hits form, I'd be interested.
He runs in the 2:30 at Bellewstown tomorrow, Thursday.
Yeah.
No prices up yet.
No.
Well, sure, look. We wish you the best of luck, Tom. We swear.
Yeah, just so you've got me on video, I don't think he'll run. I don't think he'll win tomorrow. But he will win at some stage.
Hold on, are you backing him tomorrow, Tom?
No.
Oh God, he's going to win tomorrow. He's going to win. He's going to win tomorrow. I'm backing him tomorrow.
That's what I'm telling you. I'm ruined by this horse. He's either going to turn out to be absolutely useless, never win a race, or he's going to pop up at 33s and I haven't got a penny on him. I'm not going to be able to win on it. I know. I'm just telling you now. I know.
Tom be like a ghost out of the chat then for a week after.
But no matter what, you can't win this horse. You can't win this horse, Tom, because if he runs well, he is running tomorrow, and if he's useless, you're getting dogs abuse by everybody. And if he wins, you're not going to back him, and you're going to get dogs abuse by everybody. So
yeah, exactly.
It's a lose.
Or what it'll be is, oh yeah, he won. He's still rated 60. He's still shit. I mean, the rest. Anyway, one that's not rated 60 is a horse called Laburnum of Aidan O'Brien's. Won a maiden at Gurren. and took a while to get on top. But when she got on top and got in front, she flicked her ears around, and she stayed on very well. She beat Thunderkiss, who was well supported by the Ger Lions team when a non-runner at the Curragh, and she's come out and been second again since. But I think that Burnham is definitely Group 3 class anyway.
And
if she runs in this, she'll do for me.
And I have one to back the next time it runs as well, or maybe the next couple of times.
Search for a song.
No. He won a maiden around the weekend, I think, of the Irish Guineas. Galileo Chrome, Joseph O'Brien horse. Aidan had 2 horses in it. One of them was Serpentine, won a maiden by 9 lengths, and he had another horse then that was 4th, who won a maiden by 12 lengths. That was a really strong maiden, and there was 3 of them in a line, and then the 2 Aidan O'Brien horses. He is a very good horse.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of regretting not putting this race in, but anyway. Right, let's keep over.
One. Will I give you one? Will I?
One for the weekend. Yo, you want Tom's corner back now this week, do you?
Yeah, I have it back now. I know there was one there I saw. I actually backed it at wild prices. Harry Rogers, the trainer, has been in bad form for the last couple of seasons, but he's had a few runners since racing has come back that have run very well. I have a feeling he's going to have a lot of well-handicapped horses now. A horse called Final Endeavour was last turning into the straight, ran on, finished 5th, should have won. He should be winning next time.
Was he trained over here before?
That's Noble
What's that?
Oh, that's Noble Endeavour, yeah.
You're only thinking him because he won your money.
Yeah, I only remember the ones that win. I never remember the wins that lost. The ones that lost. Lose. Jeez, I can't even speak. Same was on a call with 30 today. Any sentence I tried to string together today just wasn't coming out.
Were you talking in Irish with him?
Could you imagine? I'd be like, sorry, Watford.
Doing Honduras.
Turn on the lights. Just close the laptop. Right. Nap's the next best for the weekend.
Nap Kameko, next best Art Power.
Tom?
Nap is Vatican City in the Derby. Very keen on him.
Yeah.
My next best, I'm going to go with Ennistytom. Back it each way, but I think she could spring a surprise there.
Yeah, not bad. Nap. Oh, she's on tour between Kameko and Vatican City. Kameko. Next best, Manuel De Vega at Haydock. That's my choice.
Dave's face then when you nearly napped against Kameko.
I swear, I literally said, "Don't you dare!"
Did you?
Oh my God! Like,
I know.
You were nearly going to end up getting your nose done as well. Then Andrew.
He's talking about it all winter long while the jumps are on. Oh, I can't wait to see Kameko on the flat. And then he's going to nap against him then.
No, I wasn't. I had a word with myself there for a 0.5 of a second.
Yeah, it was literally.
I think Kameko's the most likely winner. Vatican City scares me. I think he could be very good. But no, Kameko.
You sure you don't want to convince yourself a second time, third time?
I just did there. Kameko Nap, Manuel De Vega each way. That's me, yeah. That everything. Anything else they add?
I'm really annoyed with that betting now.
I told you. I
swear, if I would have had a rant only for you started straight into the race, and I would have cracked. I'm after losing 2 winners now today because of it.
Don't know.
No, they're useless. Get rid of them. Use someone else.
I'm just going to go back.
He's trying to get his money out, but he can't.
I can't even get my money out, Tom.
Seriously?
Yeah. Every time I try and take it out, you're not. You haven't
sent your
ID. I sent it a week and a half ago.
Yeah. Live chat, you want to get them on, and you want to get them on live chat and tell them you'll upload it while you're on the chat with them.
This is why you need a Twitter account.
And it was all funny, and I was laughing about it when I couldn't get my money out. Now I can't even put a fucking bet on and win any more money.
Such is the life with 888. Who can sponsor us and make this all disappear if they want?
You imagine they sponsor us. Dave's like 888 have the best betting app I've ever seen.
next week. Best app ever.
And then I swear I'm not a sellout.
Wearing his Gucci sunglasses.
Gucci sunglasses 888 across the top of. Like those ones with the pineapples on it.
Oh, we'll finish on that. Right. Thanks again for watching, lads. Give us a like, subscribe, and we will see you again next week.